Tuesday, March 18th. What an exciting and incredible time to be alive. What's happening right now has never happened on the planet before. I'm going to wait a minute or two for people to come in. And then I'm going to share some things that you may find valuable pertaining to this timeline split that is happening. What an incredible time to be alive. All right, let's do this. I'm excited to share what I'm going to share with you today because it's completely changed my life and the life of my clients and friends and anybody that's interested in raising their conscious awareness. All right. So anybody that's paying attention is aware that something incredible is happening on the planet right now. And you may be on one or two sides. You may think it's completely crazy and out of control, which on one hand, it kind of appears that way because all of this stuff that's been hidden, inverted, and kept us from moving into higher timelines and an awakening is finally being exposed. And it seems incredibly crazy. And in a way it is, but it's so great. There's a gift in all of this. And so people have heard there's a timeline split happening. What does that mean? What does that mean? You know? And the best way I can explain it from my perspective, which is only my perspective, is that we have an opportunity to shift while still being in these human bodies into an incredible timeline where there is no disease, no lack, no separation. And it requires only paying attention and really, really channeling our beliefs, our thoughts, our vibration, and our frequency from the heart, and just trusting in whatever these new timelines look like. I don't know what they look like. I have an idea of what they look like. I have a vision and intention of what they look like. And yet it's all open. It's infinite. It's beyond our belief system. And so we're going to talk about that. I did a masterclass 2 days ago, which is available for free on my YouTube channel. Let me post in the link to that really quick. Because what I share in this masterclass, I didn't hold anything back. It's what I share with my clients, with my friends, that I've got a group of friends where we check in every day or every couple days, and all we focus on are the tools for inner healing and raising our conscious awareness. And then we focus on gratitude, and we share what we're doing every day, beginning every single morning when we awaken from what we call the sleeping dream, how we consciously and intentionally create and intend how our day is going to go, and how our, you can call it future timelines, but we always see it and feel it and declare it is already here now, never in the future. And so I invite you to, if you'd like, to go and watch the replay because it's an hour and 11 minutes. It's 1:11. And how do I say this from the heart? People pay over 6 figures to go to a 4 or 6 year college, and they will never learn what's taught in that school system, the Rockefeller school system, what is shared in this live stream for free. And so there's a lot of things that we can check out. We're constantly, I speak for myself and my friends, we're constantly researching YouTube, scrolling, listening to people that we resonate with. And there's a lot of things vying for our attention right now, especially the distractions, that the ones that are losing ground and are not going to be in our newer timeline dimension any longer, they're on their last leg. And it's all coming out now. And anybody that's paying attention can go, okay, finally that's coming out. We've known about this for 20 plus years. We've known about 9/11. We've known about vaxes. We've known about pedos. We've known about corruption. And now it's finally coming out. And this is a good thing. However, what I'm doing and what I'm inviting a lot of people that I'm close to is I don't need to share any of that stuff anymore. I've shared it for 20 plus years when people thought I was crazy. Because I grew up in private Catholic schools. I was an altar boy in the church for 9 years. I knew about the pedos. Nothing ever happened to me personally, but I knew about it. And when I started sharing about this stuff 25 years ago, people, hey, great to see you. Thank you guys for being here and for even putting any of your energy and attention into what I'm sharing. I appreciate it. And hey, brother, great to see you. Yeah, so, what I come on here and share is things that I've been sharing in the Waking Up in the Dream process that I've been taking. Well, I've been studying it for 24 years now, but I've been sharing it and taking people through this process for this. I'm going into my 11th year. And what I can say is the reason I'm so passionate about this stuff is because it goes right to the root of issues. We've got wounds and trauma. All of us have it. If that triggers you, just notice it. Notice if it's a trigger. Notice if the ego goes, well, I'm awake. I've cleared all that stuff. I can tell you, hi, gorgeous soul. I'm intending that you are surrounded in abundance in an incredible environment right now. Our friend here, we can send her a lot of love. She was involved in some heavy flooding and things and had to vacate her home in Australia. As far as I know, I don't know if you're back yet, but we're sending you lots of love. And so the reason I share this stuff is because it completely changed my life and the people that choose to come and journey with me. Because it's all about looking at and observing the automatic programs, the opinions, the belief system that we took on. And until, I'm not saying nobody else can see this, okay? I'm just starting from a starting point of these are the pieces. These are the pieces of the Waking Up in the Dream process. Okay, great. Here's an update. I'm back. Okay. Oh, God bless you. Yeah, mold can be challenging. So we're sending you all lots of love from wherever we are on the planet. So if you'd like to go and watch Sundays live, there's a link up above, about 5 comments up. And in it, I share what I call the 3 pieces of the Waking Up in the Dream process. And I'm not saying that anybody out there doesn't know it. However, it comes down to inner healing. It comes down to dismantling the belief system. And then it comes down to really practicing every single day, consciously and intentionally creating your reality with zero limits. And so I'm going to talk about one of the big pieces that I'm sharing and that my friends are speaking about right now, because it's not only dismantling the belief system and the automatics, it's taking it a step further. Because you can be moving through your day by day thing, and we're all observing, and we've got opinions, and we've got the ego is processing information. It likes some of it, it doesn't like some of it. It may be triggered by some things that happen, but I'd like to share something that's a real key to ascending. My screen gets a little bright when I check my notes because it's all on white paper. But the thing that's going to keep most people stuck is limiting beliefs, uncleared wounds and trauma, automatic reactions, and judgments, the biggest addiction on the planet. And when we begin to use these tools and track and stop every time we have a judgment or a trigger or a less than thought or a fear or a feeling of lack, we've got to stop and go, okay, there's one. I just felt that, and I'm going to stop. I'm going to take a breath, and I'm going to ask, what is this trying to show me or teach me about me? This is mastery. Mastery is not, well, when every single thought I have is loving and I never have a doubt or a trigger or an opinion or something weird pops into my mind or my ego that I don't even know where it came from. That's when we stop. Because if we don't stop and observe it and say thank you and ask, what is this trying to show me or teach me about me? It's never about the other person. This is the trick. The other person is the mirror. The other person is showing up as part of our soul contract that we agreed to and chose before we came here. And that's a mouthful right there, because when I first heard that 20 plus years ago, I was like, there's no way I would have ever chosen this amount of pain and suffering to experience or go through. There's just no way. And so now I know that everything that showed up from my dad dying when I was 7 to having a couple stepfathers that were, different, running different programs and, a little bit intense and, whatever. My story is just my story, but the key is to look at your story and go, how can I use that to either heal or expand my conscious awareness to where I can really navigate through these different timeline choices. Think of every one of those dots as a timeline choice, because anything you can think about, whether it's I intend to not have to work for a company or a corporation or in the 9 to 5. I intend to share my gifts, to be sovereign, and to attract abundance and everything that I desire without pain, struggle, or hard work. We're so taught that you must work hard, no pain, no gain. And if you believe that, then guess what? Your experience is going to be, because you're creating it all with your beliefs and your thoughts and whatever frequencies you may be holding inside this magnetic body. So we are magnetic beings. So if we're still holding a wound, I hate my father, he was an alcoholic, or he raped me, or my mom was just out of touch, or my ex was abusive, or whatever, and we haven't forgiven them, and we don't realize and understand that we chose that as part of our soul contract. I don't know why for anybody out there, but for me, everything that I chose, okay, I chose to be placed in private Catholic schools with angry, pissed off nuns where every day was judgment day. I chose that when I was 7 years young. And I chose that so I could see the program and clear that, so I didn't have to experience that. And so I could see that judgment was the biggest addiction on the planet. It wasn't until years later that I figured out how to, create this tracking sheet and actually really keep track and stop every time I had a judgment. Because in the beginning, the ego has a trigger or a wound, and it just goes, that's wrong, they're doing this to me. Well, what we're actually doing is, since we're a walking, talking, vibrating magnet, we're magnetizing more. I was a judgeaholic, and I just kept seeing more things to judge and clear. And my focus was, I thought I was doing something really good for the planet and humanity by pointing out everything that was wrong. But that wasn't the best use. Well, it was at the time, because it was part of my expanding my conscious awareness and seeing how programs ran. But sooner or later, I had to go, wow, I'm just judging all this stuff. Yes, I have a good heart, and I'm kind to people, and I love animals, and I love the planet, but I'm really judging a lot of stuff. And I'm seeing more of that show up. It took me a long time to see that program, because I thought I was really doing something good. And up until the last several months, I've still shared exposure, pedos, the inverted programs in religion and the government. And now what I see is people are awake, they're aware, and it's all coming out. So for me now, I'm shifting my awareness and my focus in the way that I use my energy every day to share what I feel are some of the most powerful tools of awareness on the planet. Because to me, conscious awareness is the only game in town. That's it. And there's different levels and levels and levels and levels. And I'm still running programs. Everything's a program, but that doesn't mean that they're bad. It's just, have we developed the awareness to see the programs that limit us, keep us looping, keep us blaming others instead of going, wow, why did I create that? Why did I create that? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? And instead of judging, I use that 3-word mantra, and I invite you to use it if you're not already using it, of, isn't that interesting? Because isn't that interesting is 100% neutral. It's the observer who's zooming out and going, I would have used to judge the hell out of that, because that seems really bad. That appears really bad. But the thing, hey, Jim, great to see you. And if you have comments in here, I'm going to do my best to get to them. Sometimes they just distract me a little bit. But I want to honor everybody that's here holding space and putting in your energy, because you guys are all amazing. And I'm sure there's, people on here and people that see this, that they're way more aware than I am. I don't claim to know anything. In fact, another great simple 3-word mantra that I've developed and that I use every day is, I know nothing. What that does is that stops my ego from having to control things and know things and show me what it knows to protect it and to show how awake I am and all that. It's all programs. It's all based on fear and survival. I know nothing doesn't mean that I know nothing. I understand that love is love and excitement. Excitement's my favorite word. It's right in there with love. You put them together, love, excitement, and gratitude, and that's a very high frequency that will attract more of that into your reality. So I understand that we don't die, we're unlimited beings, and that love is the answer. But as far as programming my ego, when I hold that statement of I know nothing, that allows me to observe things without having to put my own, yeah, that's this, that's that, I already know that, that's good, that, because those programs mess up my moment-to-moment presence of, wow, am I aware right now? Where am I? Am I in the future? Am I in the past? Am I wanting, hoping, wishing, trying? All spell words, which tell our subconscious that our desire is still not here yet. So this is why it's so important. And I ask, are you consciously and excitedly creating your reality every single morning before you get up out of bed? Because as soon as you get up, even to go to the bathroom, those 50 to 80,000 thoughts are going to start running that run all day. I got to get up. I got to put on a pot of coffee. I got to check my email. I got to get the kids ready for school. I got an appointment today. All that's going to get done. But I promise you, if you begin to set aside 15 minutes to a half hour every single morning before you get out of bed, and I will not get out of bed. I won't until I high five and go, man, I'm feeling my frequency. I just created my reality. I know that magic and miracles and synchronicities show up in my reality every single day. I claim it. I set my frequency to it with excitement and gratitude and a smile. And I just keep tracking that all day. And I might go in and out of it. You know, there's certain things that can affect me too. I got 9 brand new puppies living in the wild who are in dire need of assistance and healing yesterday, on top of all the other dogs I deal with every day. It's a blessing, but it was stressful. So I go, okay, I'm feeling a little bit stressed. So I either pull back and I reset my awareness and my focus. It's a good thing at 8:33 a.m. in Thailand. So if anybody has any questions, open them up, because what this does is this allows me to just stop talking. I pretty much share the same things in my transmissions all the time, but interaction is really great because it allows other people to be seen, to be heard, and it lets other people know that it's safe to ask questions in here, because this is a 100% free, non-judgmental zone. Nobody's judged in here. They're loved and supported and really respected for showing up. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in. Barrett's got a question that I can't answer. Who created the ego and why? You probably know the answer to this, brother. I think the ego is a survival mechanism. It's part of, I don't like this word because it doesn't feel great, but reptilian brain. You know, our DNA got hijacked. And, you know, that's coming back online right now, which is amazing. Yeah. That morning wake up is so key. It's so life-changing, because if you do not consciously and intentionally create your reality first thing every morning, like an excited child on Christmas or your birthday, which are two, we know they're kind of weird, inverted holidays, but I'm just using it as an example, then you're just going to run the same program. And the majority of people are waiting to see if it's going to be a good day or not. And they're reacting to what shows up out there instead of consciously and intentionally saying what's going to show up out there. Magic, miracles, incredible people, health, healing, abundance. It's all around us. Look around. Look around wherever you are right now. Even if you do not feel like you have the amount of money that you would like to have right now, start naming off every single thing that's in your immediate vicinity right now. My health, all these cells that have loved me since I've been in the womb. I've got a Tibetan bell. I've got a microphone. I've got a copper water bottle. I've got a computer. I've got electricity. My air conditioner's on right now. I've got a flute. I've got a beautiful guitar. I've got a place to live. I've got a shower. I've got electricity. I've got a refrigerator. I've got on and on and on. I've got clean clothes. I've got a toothbrush. I've got just on and on and on. And the ego might go, yeah, but I want more. Well, nothing wrong with that. However, watch that program. Watch that program. And are you more focused on, I want more and I still don't have? Because if that's the instruction that your subconscious is holding within, that's what your reality is going to be mirrored back to you. So sometimes it's even important to fake it while we make it. And Larissa, thank you for being here. I'll get to your question next. Okay, so Fake it till we make it. But the process is the same. My life is filled with magic. The fact that I even woke up today and I get to operate in this reality, whatever it is, I get to connect with people all over the world. Some of the most incredible people I'm connected to, in fact, most of them I've never met in person yet. But I'm grateful for this technology that has allowed everything to be exposed, information to go down. Yeah, we have to be discerning. There's a lot of inverted stuff on Gaggle and other search engines, and it's just the game. But when you learn to really question everything, especially your longest held beliefs, that's when things begin to really, really shift. Because now you're not running on what I call automatic reaction mode. Now you're the observer. You're questioning everything, and you're beginning every day and throughout the day to operate through the heart. And it's a whole different frequency than using the mind all day long, which is what a lot of people are still doing, but it's okay. They're waking up. It's happening. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to observe. Well, thank you, because let me share something with you. I wake up in the morning, I create my day, and then I go, okay, I had this download last night, and I'm going to share it around multiple perspectives. And this is a game changer, and I'll share it here in a few minutes. However, when I get ready to set up my StreamYard, and I have to enter in the title, and I have to get things ready to go, and then before I hit record, I go, look, am I ready? Do I really have anything to share that's worthwhile? I'm kind of just sharing the same thing I just shared last week and on my last live and on my YouTube channel over and over and over. Does anybody really care? And I'm like, well, I care. And if nothing else, I'm just talking to Jeff to remind him every day. And when I get on here, I just have to go. I could have a couple notes, but I just have to channel through the heart. And the messages that I receive from people and the people that reach out and go, I want to go through that waking up in the dream transformational experience. I've been watching your posts. I've watched you for a while, and I'm ready. I'm ready to do it. And I feel your passion. And I know that if we journey together, it's going to be great. And I love it. And to me, it's the highest honor. And also, the people that come and journey with me, they're my greatest teachers. So my level of ability to guide people through this process just keeps going up, and it happens quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker. I see an angry emoji up in there. Interesting. Okay, that's cool. It's probably was something I said about all the inverted programs and whatever. Okay, so again, if you have questions, feel free to pop them in. Oh, and Barrett, who created the ego and why? I think it's just a survival program, but the key is to just observe it. Just be the conscious observer. So let's go into the first question and honor Larissa for being the first one to ask a question. Do you have thoughts on how to help your nervous system calm down? Yes, I do. Because if you can't tell, I can be really pumped up, ampy. And this is from the heart, what I'm sharing right now on this transmission. However, there are times when I might find myself picking my nails or I have some anxiety. And so the first key is what you're doing. You're noticing it. So for me, what I do, the number one thing I do is I notice, and then I drop into my heart through my breath. Because the mind will run any anxiety or nervousness because there's a story going. And you may not even know what the story is. It could be a wound or a trauma. It could be from a past life. It could be something in your family lineage or in the collective that's not even yours. So number one key, observe. Well, number one key, I guess, is first, feel it, notice it, then put observation on it by taking a breath. And when you take a deep breath, you automatically drop into your heart. And when you take a deep breath and then you smile, it automatically raises your frequency and pulls you out of the story or whatever that uncomfortable feeling is. So breath, number 2, if you can. I live in Thailand where it's really hot. It was like 99 yesterday. So I get out and I put my feet, I'm wearing flip-flops every day when I'm riding around to go see the dogs that I work with. And so I make it a point to get my feet on the ground every day, at least once, maybe twice. And then I'll go up to the dam or watch the sunset or whatever, and I'll really tune in and do the gratitude thing. And I'll just drop into my heart. So number 1, observing it, which you're doing a great job of. Number 2, breath work and smiling and gratitude. And it's really about observing it, really about observing it. So I think you're doing great. And, I just have a process that I do, and it's this tracking sheet that's part of the book. And it just maps it out for you really simply every day. Even teenagers can do it. Young teenagers, 11, 12, 13, 14, have gone through the course, and they actually love it more than the parent, because the parent's got, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 decades of those automatics running, but the kids don't. They're more open-minded, and so they're more curious. So thank you for your question. If anybody else has a question, let me know. Okay, Gail's here. Yeah. Yep. It's so great that you notice that and that you share that, because I've been sharing all the inverted stuff for a long, long time. And now I don't have to do that anymore. There's new people coming on that are waking up and they're sharing it. And it's, for me, what I notice in my Facebook timeline, I've weeded it out to where there's 2 different things. There's people that are sharing tools for awakening, awareness, healing, and manifestation. And then I've got other people that are still sharing, what the dark ones are doing, the Vatican inverted satanic worship, the pedophilia, the adrenochrome, all that. And I'm in this kind of interesting observation mode where I'm like, I really don't even want to see that in my timeline anymore. But I know what it's like to have the courage to share all this stuff when your parents and everybody in your neighborhood and your family thinks you're crazy. So I'm still cheering those people on. So I'm still supporting that because they need support. So I'm kind of doing a balance, but I'm moving towards where I'm just focusing on thank you, thank you, thank you. How can I serve the collective? That's part of my morning routine. Because it used to be, I'd like to manifest, all this, and I'm intending to go to all these different countries that I've been invited to go to and do 3-day or 5-day play shops in taking people through the waking up in the dream process. And yet I know that's already happening. And so I'm happy, and I don't have to really try anymore. I know that when I set my frequency every day and I state that the perfect people show up in my reality for assistance, for healing, for love, for manifestation, for co-creating new things, new earth programs and projects and things. I know it's happening because I've been doing it long enough and consistently not only every single morning, but then throughout the day when I check in, and then right before I go to bed, I program my subconscious as well. So it's great. Yeah. Thanks, Jim. Yeah. Wim Hof breathing is great. Any conscious breathing is great. And what I mean by conscious breathing is I tune in, and my intention is to thank every cell in my body that's consciously aware and listening. I play with inner healing every day through gratitude. I also play with, and I invite you to do this too if it resonates, Play with reversing aging, the concept of reversing aging. Because the program is that they've installed is to have a birthday every year. Well, there's really only one birthday. That's the day we come out of the womb, in my humble opinion. You may have a different opinion, which is perfectly okay if it works for you. But what they do is they get people to keep telling everybody how OLD they are. Well, what do you think that does to your cells and everything if you keep constantly reaffirming how OLD you are? I'm constantly affirming how frickin' brand new all my cells are in every single moment, every day. That's a completely different frequency and story. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with celebrating if your child has a birthday or whatever. I'm talking about a next level awareness of observing the program and going, I don't need to affirm how OLD I am every year. I just don't need to do it. Every day is a wonderful, incredible day. Yeah. It's a program. Totally. Yep. I love you, dear one. We're so on the same page with so many things because, yeah, we never used to AGE. We used to be able to live, and there's proof that people lived here as long as they desired to. And we've got constantly new cells coming in. The only thing that can kill us are, not taking care of this vessel, not loving on it, poisons. And yeah, we're getting attacked. But what is really wonderful is nothing has to affect you, even if, like, I live in Thailand, there's 5G towers everywhere. I have to ride by them, and I just send them love and light. I just send them love and light and go, nope, that can't affect me. That cannot affect me unless I agree to it. Now, does that mean that none of those frequencies are affecting me? I don't know, but I haven't had a cold in 8 or 9 years. It doesn't mean because I'm so great, but I drink chlorine dioxide solution, other name called MMS. I drink baking soda and water and lime. I put good things into my body. I was vegetarian for 6 years. Sometimes I'll eat chicken or whatever, God forbid. I'm playing with all these different programs and stories. And no, I don't believe that killing animals is really a good thing. I believe if we do it, it's to do it with honor. That's a whole nother thread of thoughts and beliefs. And what I do is I observe my programs every day. And I can feel them when they pop in. And I observe if I have a judgment or an opinion. In Thailand, it's really weird. There's a lot of motor scooters here. And for some reason, the cars believe that they can just drive right down the middle of the frickin' road. It's amazing to observe. And yes, that can trigger me when I'm on a motor scooter and I'm on my side of the road and a car's coming right down the frickin' middle across the center divider. That's one of my little triggers. The other trigger is people burning plastic here. And it's just interesting. So I observe it and I just go, anytime you can say thank you to something that triggers you or something that you believe is wrong, you're mastering your awareness. Because it doesn't mean you're thanking them for doing something that might be harmful or poisoning to the environment, but you're thanking them because you're observing and going, okay, that's something that would have triggered me into judgment before, but now I'm observing and I'm going, isn't that interesting? My program is that that's wrong. I saw something the other day on either YouTube or on Facebook or some social media where they said that burning plastic is actually good for the environment. Or there's a new way to do it where it's good. I don't know. But the point is, observe the triggers, observe the judgments. And when you can say thank you to anyone, let's get into this. Let's get into forgiveness. Is there anybody left that you have to forgive? Is there anybody that you're still angry about or upset about, whether your mother, your father, your ex, a boyfriend, the government, anybody else, where you're still like, well, I'll forgive, but I'll never forget? I hear a lot of people say that, and it's fascinating because that means you're not really forgiving. So part of healing is I've forgiven every single person, because guess what? If you're going to move into a higher frequency, 5D, 12D, a million D, whatever D, I don't know what the Ds are. They're constantly happening and they're all available right now. So if you're going to move into a higher frequency timeline where there's no disease, no lack, no separation, none of that, then you've got to clear any frequency, judgment, lack of forgiveness. You cannot take that with you and move into a higher timeline. You might be able to move up there for a minute because you're all in love and you're helping the animals or you're helping somebody, but you'll fall back down like a roller coaster at some point if you're still holding a lack of forgiveness for yourself or anybody else. So that's why it's super key. And anybody that you feel did anything to you was part of your soul contract. Now that's a big one. You can, no, I would have never chosen that. I understand. In the beginning, I said that for probably a decade or two. And then I went, well, that's just keeping me stuck. So what if I had a different perspective and went, what if it's really true that every single thing that I thought was bad and hurt me and traumatized the hell out of me was actually part of my soul contract? Well, then there would be only one thing to do that makes sense. Thank it. Thank you. Thank you for perfectly playing your role. Thank you. That's healing. That's higher awareness. That's not being a victim anymore. Because a victim story keeps us stuck. So since people are posting things in here, I'm going to share them because I love you guys and I honor everybody's energy. I think we still live as long as we want, but people give up and ask to go home. Yeah. I don't think a week or a month goes by when I don't go, I'm not really sure if I want to stay. I think I've already contributed what I contributed, but the lure of this big party and the complete healing of this body and moving into higher timelines where there's no money, there's just nothing but abundance and celebration. I'm down with that party. I'm down with that party. So I'm sticking around. So God bless you. Yeah, God bless you for sharing that. I love it. So yeah. Grace, yeah. Yeah, I'm in it. I mean, in the fact, when people like you guys show up and I know you're out there, it's like, I'm like, yeah, this is my family. This is what I came here for. And I think this is a chain reaction because so many people reach out to me, and the people that come and journey with me, they're like, my entire family's asleep. They think I'm crazy. Nobody in my town is even awake. They're all watching the television, running the same programs, judging, not healing. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. That's why you're where you're at. So God bless you. Keep holding the frequency and just observing, and just keep going. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? I'm just going to blast anything with love that I feel might benefit from it, because I know nothing. I don't know what anybody needs. That's their choice on their soul contract. So if all I do is commit to being the loving, conscious observer, operating from my heart and smiling at everybody, not judging, just going, wow, what an interesting dream. But if somebody comes up and they go, hey, I'm interested in your tools, or why are you smiling, or do you know something I don't know? And I go, well, I really know nothing, but I have played with frequency and vibration and seeing programs, because we've all been programmed. I mean, you got to agree to having your whole divine, unlimited, knowledgeable memory wiped when you come into this 3D journey. So you got to be pretty badass to decide to accept to come into this matrix, frequency, farm, whatever you want to call it, or magical amusement park. That's another good one. I just came up with that. A magical amusement park where, yeah, it's a frickin' roller coaster ride. And you don't even know if you're going to remember. But you had the courage to come down here and do it. So to me, I just honor everybody. I mean, yeah. Hey, Davia, great to see you, my friend. Yeah, so, if anybody has any questions, if anybody's interested in the book or the tracking sheet or whatever, here's a link to that. And I'm happy to stay on a little longer if anybody has any questions, you guys know my website, Portal to Awakening. And 3 keys: inner healing, dismantling the belief system, and consciously intending and creating our reality every day. And yeah, it might take some time for some things to catch up. And there's nothing wrong with going, well, I've got a 6-month or a 1-year plan or a 3-year plan. That's part of what I take people through when they come and do a mentorship with me. However, the first thing right out of the gate and on the very first day is they start seeing the programs, because they start catching the judgments and the triggers. And we look at anything that may be a trauma, and we do it really gently. I mean, people think it can be really intense waking up, but you can go through this process and you can actually do it and have fun. Yeah, it's just being curious and playful. We're going to have some tears maybe if we're talking about a trauma or a wound or something that's coming up to be healed and cleared. I mean, I always have tears before any of my clients do, because I can see that they're attempting to hold it back and it's so ready to come up. And I'm just like, just let it go. It's so healing. Oh my God. We've been taught that crying and tears are shameful. It's one of the most liberating and freeing and healing thing ever. That's why you feel so great when you cry or you get some anger out. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just don't project it on other people. I get angry. I see things where, I do a lot of research and I can get real pissed. And when things like Gaggle, I call Google Gaggle because it's all inverted, Chrome, they put it right in your face. They name the whole browser after adrenochrome. They don't think they're touchable. They don't think you'll ever wake up. Well, we're awake and they're done. And it's game over and they know it. And so we even blast them with love. We blast Gaggle and Chrome with love. Thanks for showing us the inverted program. Thank you. How great. Okay, so we just continuously keep tracking our moment-to-moment frequency. And so I'm going to get into what this whole live was about right now. And then if anybody has any questions, great. And then I'll end it. So let me go back to the comments here. Hey, Kat, great to see you. Yep, we're doing it. And I appreciate everything that you're doing out there as well. I see you and I always support your posts. And I support anybody that is out there that's ready to heal, because we got to do it. People don't like that word and they don't like admitting that there's anything to heal. But let's face it, coming into this dream was traumatic. There's nothing wrong with going, I still got some stuff to heal. I still do. I don't even know. I don't think if it's possible to not have something to clear while we're still in the human body, because it's either for ourselves, our family lineage, or the collective. So having something come up, there's no shame in it. It's actually freaking badass. Yeah, I'm willing to look at this stuff. I'm willing to hold it. I'm willing to feel it. And yeah, I have tears all the time. Oh my God. I found 9 puppies in a hole yesterday that were almost on their way out. And now they're on their way back because we put them in a safe place. We gave them water. We gave them healthy food. We're taking the ones to the vet that need it. It's not because I'm so great. It's because when I wake up every day, my thing is, after I consciously and intentionally create my reality and love on all my cells and affirm that magic shows up in my reality every day and the perfect people and perfect synchronicity, my life's just one big synchronicity. And if something shows up that I don't like, I go, what is the gift here? What is the gift here? Because otherwise I'm just reacting in resistance and I'm just giving it energy and I'm just going to have to relive it over and over and over. So what is the gift here? Huge part of the waking up in the dream process. Yeah. Okay. So here's another one. It's not safe to feel. Yeah. Yep. It's not only safe to feel, it's mandatory to heal, to feel. You got to feel it to heal it. Got to. And that's why I honor everybody that can really hold space for somebody. It's really interesting that probably 8 or 9 out of 10 of my clients are women. The men just, and this is nothing against men. It's just, I don't know. I think the men haven't learned yet as much as the women. The women are more, many women. And I mean, I'm a huge fan of the feminine divine, and I'm just a big supporter of that, of them and the children and the animals. And I'm a protector. And man, that's part of my mission. So yeah. Yep. The patriarchal programming is huge. So, thank you for sharing that. And thank you, Gail. Yeah. Thanks for being here and sharing. I appreciate you. I see you out there. Okay, Jacqueline's got it. I was wondering the measurement for the water, baking soda. Oh, God bless you. Okay, what I do basically is I'm not really anal about it. I just take the basic 8-ounce glass and I put a good heaping teaspoon in the water and stir it. It's never affected me in any way other than great. It alkalines your body. If you think that a heaping teaspoon might be a lot, then just start off with a little bit. Test it out. Whatever you feel. But yeah, I just scoop it in and drop it in and I bless it and love it. And I go, thank you. And yeah, I have not been SICK or had a cold in 8 or 9 years. Yeah, you're so welcome. And thank you for asking that. And then the other thing, the chlorine dioxide solution, I drink it every day. I just keep a bottle that I mix in my fridge and I'll just take a shot. And I've never noticed any ill effects from it. But all I know is I feel good. I feel great. And I claim that every morning too. I feel great. I remind myself how blessed I am throughout the day. These are just practices. And you can have your own, mantras that you share throughout the day. But I guarantee you that your subconscious is listening. And every one of these trillions of cells that's consciously aware is listening. So program the love in, program the gratitude in, program the abundance in, and do it over and over and over and over with excitement. Because the majority of people are running 50 to 80,000 thoughts a day. They're not even aware. They're just running on automatic. I know this is happening in shifting, so I'm seeing everybody not running 50 to 80,000 thoughts a day without awareness, but I'm just sharing a study, and most of those 50 to 80,000 thoughts are negative. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like when I lived in the States, I supposedly Arm & Hammer has aluminum in it. So yeah, I'm in Thailand. I buy healthy stuff and I bless it because I'm not going to sit here and I don't have a chemistry lab here where I'm testing every single thing that I have, but I buy the best thing I can. I bless it. I research it. And then I just love it. And that you could actually drink poison and it couldn't affect you if you say, this cannot affect me. Nothing can harm me. None of these 5G frequencies, none of this stuff can harm me. Nothing can enter into my field and my frequency unless it's benevolent and comes from love. That's another really good mantra. Yeah. Yeah. So what I do with people in the waking up in the dream processes, I call it permanent subconscious reprogramming. Because number one, you got to be able to see the programs. Number two, you have to be willing to dismantle the programs, which is what this process does. And you got to reprogram it. You have to. It's so great. When you see that, you might be frustrated a little bit. Oh my God, I have so many programs and automatics. But I'll tell you what, you spend 30 days tracking them and using this sheet or doing it however you want to do it. I have people keep track of the number of judgments and triggers they catch during the day. And they write it down on the sheet every day. It takes 5 minutes at night. And they write down what came up for me today. What realizations did I have today? Do I still have any triggers? Do I still have anybody left to forgive? Did I consciously create my reality first thing in the morning? Did I look in the mirror and do mirror gazing? I love you, Jeff. I love you. And in the beginning, it comes back, no, you don't love yourself. You've been a fuck up and you've done drugs. And I love you. I love you. Everything I did was perfect for my evolvement. And the fact that I was able to meet all that stuff that I did and go in and tune into the shame and the guilt that I used to feel, that's mastery. That's like high five. So I love you. So that's on the sheet too. Are you doing mirror exercises every day? It's just simple stuff. So anyway, however it works for you. Yeah, Red Mill can be good. Thank you for sharing that. So anybody have any other questions? So here's what I'm going to get into before I leave. Finally getting to it. Multiple perspectives, okay? So as a conscious observer, you will begin to notice that you've still got opinions about things. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying, look at this one, because this is a huge next level awareness key that will open up so many things for you that are good and freeing. So, multiple perspective explanation. If you'd like to raise your awareness, I know my screen gets bright, and move beyond 3D and into higher levels, then begin to practice this. Each time you have an opinion, judgment, or even any perspective on something, realize that that's just one perspective. There's a ton of different perspectives. Now, your perspective may feel good to you. It may feel like it's a perspective of awareness, which is great. High five. However, it's just one of an infinite amount of possible perspectives. So what I'm playing with my clients and with some certain friends that love playing the let's raise our conscious awareness and heal game, because it's the best game to play, really, once you figure it out. That and the gratitude game. We're going, okay, I just had an opinion or an observation, but I'm going to play this game where I'm going to have the awareness and I'm going to practice this and I'm going to go, what is an alternate perspective that I could have? Oh, isn't that interesting? Because what this does is it breaks up the automatics. Because in the beginning, there's automatic reactions, automatic judgments. You've got this tiny little belief system that's a prison. It's a prison. If that triggers you, then take a breath and go, this guy's pissing me off right now. Well, let me explain. Number one, you've heard me say this, or maybe you haven't. None of our beliefs are our own. Our entire belief system is made up of agreements that came from our parents, our grandparents, the school system, religion, science, which is mostly a psyop now for the most part, the media, what we heard from other people. And we just went along with the beliefs because it was safe to do so because, well, if everybody's believing that, then I guess that's what I should believe. Then you start to awaken and you go, wow, a lot of this stuff's bullshit. A lot of it's limiting. A lot of it's low frequency. A lot of it's inverted. And you begin to see that dismantling the belief system is the way out. So you've got to begin to catch the judgments and the limiting beliefs. Anything that limits you is a lie. Period. That's the rule. Anything that's limiting around healing, around reversing aging, around how long you can live, around money, around abundance, around being able to heal, anything that says you can't or you're limited is a lie. Note to self. Write it down. Log it in. And start to dismantle all. And I know a lot of you people are already doing this. It's just that this is a starting point, and this is the elevation point. These are the tools, and these are the awareness keys. So, anytime you have an opinion or a perspective, it's really great if you go, okay, I just thought that, but what is another perspective about what I just had an opinion about or thought? Man, if you can log that in and start to practice that, you're going to go, oh my God, my first thought or my first opinion or whatever was just like, doesn't mean it was a bad one, but it's just one thing. Where did that come from? And how about if I stop and go, oh, wow, what if I chose to see it from this perspective? It opens up a whole nother world. I'm doing my best to explain this because not everybody's going to choose to like put this into practice. But I'm telling you, if you do, you'll be like, oh my God, I'm going to start adapting the multiple perspective thing every day. The multiple perspective program, the MPP. I'm on it. MPP for life. You know, I mean, get playful. So if you really desire to see how the programs of the mind operate and dismantle the ego's influence over the creation of your reality and your manifestations, then train yourself to have the awareness to notice, keyword, notice, observe when you have an opinion, judgment, or any perspective, and ask yourself, what could be another perspective or point of view about the thought that I just had? And all of a sudden you'll go, oh my God, not only am I aware right now, but I'm aware that there's multiple perspectives that I could be having instead of just the one that I chose. Okay, this is deep. This is next level, but it's still kindergarten as far as how incredibly unlimited we are. It's still first grade, but it's the next step or a next step. And it'll blow your mind because you'll go, wow, I had that one perspective that I thought was pretty aware and it was good, it was positive, but now I've got a whole nother perspective of how somebody else could see it that's still good and positive and open-minded. Oh, wow. Okay, now this multidimensionality thing and the ability to observe multiple timeline possibilities in this moment is starting to be exercised and starting to become my new automatic, which what do you think is going to do? It's going to begin to open up multiple positive, good, unlimited perspectives that can be magnetized into your reality. But you got to be able to see it and choose it and put this new program into play. I'm kind of animated, huh? I can't help it. It's energy. Okay? So I feel like I delivered what I was going to deliver today. If anybody has a question around that, I'll wait another minute and pop it in. Yeah. And if anybody, what I'm interested in doing right now is journeying with people that are ready to lead and take them through this process. Not only take them through the process, but then also assist them and support them in mapping out how they would like to begin to serve people that are going to need healing, that are going to have their minds completely shocked and blown. The more that, disclosure happens, because when people wake up and it's happening and they realize that almost everything they've been told is a lie, they're either going to want to check out or they're going to really need some support. And so I'm interested in taking people through this process and creating more global leaders and assisting them in creating their own formula or way that they would like to do it, whether it's with the children in the new schools, whether it's with animals, whether it's with healthy foods and healing, whatever it is that brings you your joy and your passion that you're really passionate about, that's one of your gifts. And for me, it's taking people through the waking up in the dream process. It's also going out and helping the animals because they're holding such a high frequency, and helping to heal the planet. So those are kind of my three things. Well, another one, music, vibrational frequencies, and transmitting that. But whatever it is for you, if you're interested in that, I'd love to do it with you and take you through a process. So if that interests you, I'm offering free, no obligation calls, and they really are no obligation. There's no sales pitch. It's just like, here's what we do, here's the investment, and this is what you're going to get out of it. Just something you're going to get out of it, but it's going to blow your mind. And then you're going to be able to go do that with other people. So if that feels like it's a good use, then reach out to me. Go to the website and just fill out this simple, short 2-minute questionnaire, and I'll get on a call with you. And I just want to say that I'm really grateful for everybody that showed up today. And yeah, so thank you. Thank you. And I'm just excited for everybody that's out there that's awake and aware. And man, we are getting ready to head into one of the most magical and mind-blowing beyond. We can kind of envision what it's going to be. Well, people are coming together, and there's not going to be any disease, and we're not going to need money, and it's just going to be abundance, and we're not going to have to pay to live on the planet, and we're going to be able to live as long as we desire, and it's going to be instant manifestation, and moving through different timelines. And it's beyond what we know, because we had to forget, and now we're remembering at 919 in Thailand. So big love to everybody. Thank you so much. If you feel like anybody would benefit from this, please share it out, because the more people that start to deprogram and heal and pay attention and really get into their heart and really start to operate from what brings them passion and share their unique gifts with the planet, this is where it's going. And it's accelerating and accelerating and accelerating. And anything I can do and anything that you can do to do it, I'm just super grateful. A couple of comments. Yeah. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for doing what you're doing. I intend to meet all of you in person at some point. Would be so great. And I'm just sending lots and lots of love and gratitude until next time. So big love from Thailand. And